What's happening, pretty people? It's Yeshi, Mr. Royalty himself. You look good, you look pretty. Thank y'all for joining me on this blessed day. I didn't even cut my computers on. I didn't even get to work yet. I just kind of wanted to get this off for you. And it is to assess yourself and to acknowledge how important assessing yourself is. There are times where it's like, at least for me, I don't know about y'all, but for me, it feels like if we take a moment to assess like what's going on, big picture, it feels like I'm kind of wasting a day a little bit because it feels like I'm not getting right to the work, you know? I had to stop myself with that frame of thinking. So if you have that frame of thinking, I want you to stop yourself with that frame of thinking too. Assessing where you're at in your current time or your current workload or your current positioning with where you're at is just as important as doing the actual work as well, because that allows you time to take a step back and really get into the nitty-gritty of maybe you need to adjust how you've been approaching a certain type of workload. Oftentimes this is the space where you can acknowledge, okay, well, this isn't working just as well as it should be, so let me assess that, let me identify some better ways to approach that, and then go from there. It's difficult at times to really see that as active work because it just doesn't look like it. So I want to encourage you to abandon that way of thinking as I'm trying to abandon that way of thinking, because today is an assessment day for me. I need to assess. We're in June. We just hit June. Yo, it's 6 months out, 2022. It's 6 months until criminal. It's 6 months until criminal. You feel what I'm saying? That's not a lot of time left. You know, we hit the halfway mark and we still got quite a ways to go, but at the same time, it's not a whole lot of time left. I mean, you know, like I know, you feel me? That's quick. 6 months went by quick. You look up, whoa, where we at? So today is an assessment today, and what that's going to look like for me is I'm going to look at how I approached certain releases, look at how I approached art making form. I'm going to approach how internally I've been feeling and how I've approached it, because that's important too. Specifically when you're in the arts, energy and feeling is very intimately intertwined with the work that you're putting out, because as a creative. But what that might look like for you is you need to assess, okay, well, am I approaching spreadsheets in the most conducive manner? Is there a way that I can Google how to learn something real quick so that my processes can be just a little bit more fine-tuned, so that way I am not wasting time? Oftentimes what I do as well is, like, say for an editing program, like something that just recently happened to me. I didn't want to learn a whole new editing program because I felt like that would pause the work that I'm doing, even though the program that I was currently working in was trash and it had crashes, and even though it felt like if I stopped and took a second to learn, I was like, man, well, maybe I'm running behind where I need to be because I'm taking time to stop and learn. That is a trap. That is a trap. So what I actually ended up doing was I tried to take the easy way out and learned like 3 or 4 different programs that was equally trash, instead of learning the bigger program that I needed to learn, because I was scared of what kind of behemoth I'd have to learn with that. Instead of taking 2 days, 3 days, a week to really learn this big program, I spent a whole other week learning these baby boo-boo programs that weren't really conducive to my workflow and to my process. I want to encourage you with your days of assessment that they are just as important as them nose in the books heavy work days, nose in the computer heavy work days. It's just as important, because in the long run, your future self is going to thank your past self for taking the time to acknowledge what things could be better, what things are going great, so that you can fine-tune what exactly is needed to succeed. I think that's all I got for y'all. So today, it may not look like me recording high quality records. It may look like, okay, well, do I need to approach my workflow differently, or do I need to do something or learn something so that my workflow is that much more easier and more conducive to my process? Is the way that I'm creating the cover arts or the way that I'm releasing the music or how I'm pushing the music out to people to make sure that I can get heard. Is that the best way that I'm doing it, or maybe it's just a couple of things that I can learn? Yeah, so that's a little tidbit for y'all. You know I gotta do the shameless plug. I just dropped a new single. It's called God Forbid. It's out on all plats. You know what that means. Go get it. It's in your phone right now. All you gotta do is hit the search. God Forbid, Yeshi. God Forbid, Yeshi. You know what I'm saying? Put that in a big type on your phone and it's gonna be there. Hey, blessings to you. We 6 months in the game. 2023 is on the horizon. However, we have quite a bit to get through before we get there. So keep, you know what I'm saying? Keep being royal. Keep hustling. Yay! What's happening, Royals? It's Yeshi, Mr. Royalty himself. Thank you for sliding on my channel. I appreciate you. You a blessing. Go ahead and hit that like button and the subscribe button and that little notification bell so you can be notified whenever I drop some royalty. Okay then? You feel me? And then please go ahead and follow me anywhere at Yeshi Royal. That's YESHY Royal. Anywhere. You a blessing.